Right. What up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm joined by Yusuf and Ruth. Yusuf is a director, actor, producer based in Vancouver, Canada. And Ruth, Angela, forgot the last name, but you just told me.
Situma.
Welcome to the podcast, Conversations with Uncle Kevin. Today we'll be touching on topics that I really care about, like storytelling in Vancouver, storytelling by Africans throughout the world. This is the first time hosting two people on the podcast, so the setup is a little bit different, but we make it work. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's been a long day, but we make it work.
Yeah, you're finally here.
Finally here.
Yeah.
Been setting this up for the past 2 years with Yusuf. 2
It
years.
takes that long to get him to commit, honestly.
I can't believe it, but
I had to be here 2020, I
persistence.
think, right?
yeah.
2020.
So it's actually 3 years now.
Oh my gosh, you were having this conversation 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was hoping you'd come through, but
Well, then COVID happened, so.
that's an excuse.
It's not an excuse. I mean, it's COVID.
Everybody came through in COVID, man. What were you doing?
Everybody
We were
but
under
not
a
me.
rock.
That was the only time we had to do podcasts and make content during the pandemic. But nah, it's all good. We're here, finally here. First podcast of the year, so I'm excited about this.
Good for you, Kevin.
Oh, so we are your first guest of the year?
Yeah, for the year, man.
Interesting.
Awesome.
I was saving it for you. Like no one was gonna come before you.
Oh, so we make it or we break it. We set the bar.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
2023. We
Yes.
can't mess it up.
That's awesome. So a little bit about you guys, that you'd like to share with the people before I start. Like, I know I met you on set doing background, which he doesn't do anymore, I believe. But I still meet him on set doing background, but he doesn't do it anymore. What else is there for the people?
It's a lot, but I mean, I'll try to summarize it in a few words. I mean, mostly it's like you said, acting, directing, and producing. I started as a background actor, where we met. Actually, I don't know what movie we met. Was it Snowpiercer?
No.
Was it? No. It's not Snowpiercer. It was Mary J.
Yeah, it was a Mary
Mary
J.
J. Mary J. show. Yeah, I was like, but no, we met before.
Mary J was Mary
this
J is
year.
last year, but
Last
I
year.
think we met on another Black people show.
Yeah, I think Solitary, if I'm not
Was it?
mistaken.
I don't know, but I know it was on one where we had a lot of Black people on set.
Yeah, we had a lot of Black people. Yeah, so we met. I was doing background from 2019. I think I started doing background. I just tried it. Like I went to school to do a Nimbus to do a certificate in music business. So I met this girl. She told me she made a lot of money in background. I was like, "What's background?" I didn't know about background. I didn't know they pay people to just stand on the streets,
Still back.
to do background. I was like, okay, that's cool. I was like, she told me she made a lot of money because she was in school and she wasn't working, and she saved up a lot. I was like, okay, you just get paid to eat and just walk on the streets. It's like, okay, I want to try it. I mean, I always had the passion for the acting and directing, but I just didn't know where to start because it's Vancouver and I was fairly new to Canada because I came in like 2017. So I hadn't gotten my head around everything and stuff. So yeah, so she told me about it. She gave me the agency. I signed up. It's called All Stars. I signed up for it, and I started doing background. My first show was I think it's a show with Sandra.
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah,
Oh.
that was my first show. I was doing background, and it was so cool. It was like I could see. I was like, damn, like this is the dream now. Like I mean,
Yeah.
So yeah, I met the first. I think it was the casting director for that film. When I was doing background, it's like, yeah, what do you do? I was like, doing background. I was like, okay. I was like, do you act? I was like, no, really. It's like, yeah, you look good for the camera. Have you ever tried acting? I was like, not really, but I mean, she's like, yeah, I have a friend who has a school. I think you'll be really good doing acting and stuff like that. I can hook you up. And then, yeah, so she hooked me up with Michael Commons. I took the classes at Story Institute. And that's kind of my journey with acting, and everything just started unfolding slowly. And now I'm making my own movies now. So,
Wow.
it's a journey. It's a lot of stuff in between there, but I just wanted to give you the start of where the passion came from. But I think this is where I want to be for the next couple of years. Like, I don't know. It's either this or nothing.
So it's been yours is now a 4-year journey. Wow. And Miss Ruth?
Let me start by what I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not an actress. I don't star in movies. I don't do podcasts or anything that involves entertainment.
Yeah.
The closest you will find me is running an event. I have a background in event and program planning, and that's what I do. So there's a lot of project management in there. I also am involved in the community. So I do a lot of community work and volunteering and just helping young people settle in. I work at the University of British Columbia. So I do see a lot of international students come in and trying to figure their place in Vancouver and how they're going to handle it and just the new adjustments that they have when they come in. So event planning and helping out students is my passion. How I got into film, and this is just almost a segue into how I met Yusuf, is we had a common friend and they said, why don't you just team up with him? He's this young man and he's going in this direction and he's superb at what he does.
Yeah.
And I was tasked with putting up this festival and I was like, I have no idea how to do this. This is not my genre. It's out of my comfort zone. And so I gave him a call and we talked for about, I think it was 45 minutes. And it was me just using all my negotiation skills to try and get him to work with me and this other person. And I think at the end of that conversation, it was more of a yes for him. And then after that, I just kind of got roped into movies and doing the whole script writing into production and getting the whole thing done.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably where Yusuf sees my strength. It's more of the operations and the project management. So that's a little bit about how we got together and also just a little bit about my history and career. But whenever I meet my friends, I have a friend from Kenya. I'm originally from Kenya. She always calls me the OG because I've lived here long and I've seen the number of changes and I see what works and what doesn't. It doesn't mean that I'm in every sphere that's out there, but in the sphere that I wish to be, I'd love to be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So you guys have been working. When did you meet? Which year?
We met
Last year.
Last year.
summer last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yusuf, you're good at this stuff of meeting people and getting them to work. Do you see yourself as a coordinator, sort of like call it not a project, but someone who brings people together to create projects, or is it just lucky? You just like, okay, I just met this person, let's keep it moving.
I don't know. I mean, I've met so many people that I'm still in touch with. I mean, I think I'm just good in keeping in touch. You would say, yeah, because I don't forget. I don't forget when I meet you and you tell me to do something.
Yeah.
When I have something that relates to what you told me, I have to reach out to you because it's not lots of us. It's few Black people. So if you tell me you do photography, and every time I have a project or I have something to do, I think about my Black people before I think about anyone else. So I'm like, I met Kevin. He said he does this and this and this. So yeah, I think that's just good. I just know how to keep up. I just know how to keep the numbers in there. Sometimes I just even go to my phone and just scroll and I'm like, whose number is this? So I try to remember and then I just text them and like, yo, what's up? It's like, who are you? I was like, Yusuf, I think we met because I have a very good memory. I do remember everything. Just that I didn't remember what movie we met.
I think it was when you were mentioning the Sandra Bullock one, that was in Surrey. I think I was in that one as well.
Maybe
So we probably met on that one because that was before the pandemic, and then they did it again after or during the pandemic.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that time. I was like, "This is Sandra Bullock."
So I actually overheard a conversation he was in, and it actually has something to do with the latest film Yusuf is developing. And the person on the other line said, "Oh my God, that's so great! It's like you're putting together the Avengers team."
Yeah.
And that's his knack. Like when he knows you and he knows what you're good at and he has a project and he knows where he can slot you in, he kind of puts the best people in there. Yeah.
So I guess I'm Nick.
Oh, okay. Mr. Samuel L. I see.
You just need to get him an iPad.
Yeah, I need to get you an iPad.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah. So for you, 2019 background, the next 2 years you're in school, 2021, that's when you started linking up with her to make your own films, or
no? Before that, I in like 2019, I started as a. So let me go back a little bit.
Yeah.
When I just came, it was a new dream for me to be in Canada and everything. So, I got a job at I think Cineplex was my first job, but that's why I think that also boosted my love for films because that was my first job in Canada, and watching these movies and how big they get and how like how people praise the actors and stuff like that. So I developed the love, and people that were working at Cineplex, I think it was Scotiabank Theatre in downtown. They were all pretty much, most of them were actors, and the passion started growing from there. So that being put aside, I had an idea to start up a company. So which is actually why we're working together. She's my business partner. We do own the company together.
Nice.
So I started up this company alone in 2019, I think. 18, I had the idea. I started up in 2019. So I remember that time I'd quit Cineplex because they shouted at me. I hate it. I'm a very, very, I don't know, I say emotional person.
Yeah.
And I don't take bullshit. So I was never late. And then she comes to me, she's like, Yusuf, you're late. And she said a lot of stuff. I was like, man, how much am I getting for this job? I'm like, the next day I left, and that was a great job. I mean, other managers liked me. So the other manager gave me a recommendation, and I got a job at YVR. From Cineplex to YVR. I was really cool. Like, okay. I think God wanted me to go somewhere else. This wasn't for me. So, and then YVR, same thing. I was there for like 3 months. She shouted at me, or she said something stupid. I was very rude. Not rude, but I mean, I approach her. I tell her how I feel and how what she said made me feel. So, and she got mad. But I mean, I look back at the people that remain there, the workers, they thank me because she's a better person right now. Because I said everything that they couldn't say.
Yeah, on your way out.
Yeah, on my way out. I told her everything. I was so rude in a way, but again, I had to say what I had to say.
Yeah.
She said something very rude to me, and I was like, no, you can't say that, you know? No, however much we're workers, we work for you. And she wasn't even the general manager. She was the assistant manager. I told her that because I was so rude. I want to say what I said because
No, you probably weren't rude. You were just raw with the delivering of whatever it is.
Probably you can say that because I told her, I'm just gonna say this, but I'm not that kind of person. Just to let everyone know.
Yeah.
I just told her, at your age, you don't have to be the assistant manager. You have to be the general manager. That's what I said. Ouch. But I was so angry.
Yeah.
Because the general manager was super nice. Super nice. I don't know. It's a thing where the big people are always nice, and then the people below them, they're always the ones that
doing too much.
Yeah, doing too much and stuff. Something with Cineplex. Yeah. So I figured I can't work for nobody. Like I can't stay on a job for like 3-4 months. And it's like I need to start my own business. I need to think about something. So from there, I was unemployed for a little bit, and then I got another job. I think it was Shower Cable. That was the best job I've ever worked for, and I left willingly.
Oh, no.
I didn't leave because someone said something bad to me or something. Because I left because I started my own company. So that was a very good job. I was a soup at the Richmond warehouse. Like we just check out takes. We schedule their days, and then they bring back the equipment. So we send it to Calgary. It was a cool job because we did nothing. Yeah. Like we come in the morning. We check out the text. We go.
So you did nothing. You did something.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was nothing because it was easy. Yeah. Like I can say, I think it's because I love the job. That's why it felt like nothing. Because when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like anything. So to me, it felt like nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Because I came into the place and I set up my own system in the whole warehouse and the whole place. And the whole text when I left, they didn't want me to leave. They really liked me because I set up a system. I made everything easy because the person that was there for a long time. So they were used to like on paper stuff, like writing stuff. So when I came in there, I had some IT background. So I put everything on the Excel sheets. I created macros on Excel sheets and stuff like that and made things easier. So there was no work.
Oh, okay.
There was no work. So the techs found it easy to come and take stuff and switch up the equipment and stuff like that. They didn't want me to leave. Like I was the most favorite person in the whole company. I think I was also, they liked me because I wrote an email once and instead of saying sheets with SHEET, I said shit. Yeah. And it went viral in the whole company. Like I was like, are you the person who said shit? Could you send me some shit? Yeah. So, it was very funny. Yeah. But I mean, from there, I was there for like 4 months, and then I left because I started up my own company with a bunch of friends, like 3 friends in Surrey. So we built up like a studio, music studio, and then a video studio. And yeah, my idea was to have a company that can provide you with everything you want. So let's say you want to do a wedding. So you come to me, I can give you the photography, videography, I can give you a DJ, I can do pretty much everything apart from catering.
Yeah.
So that was my idea. Because catering is a little bit different.
But you could own the catering company, so we should put that on the business plan right,
Probably.
as well. Yeah. So we're looking. Thanks, Kevin.
All right. Catering is hard because I mean I'm black and my food is very different. I'm not a food person. I don't know so much about food. I don't like eating. She knows I don't like eating. So I didn't want to mess up someone's wedding with bad food and stuff because that's the only day of their life they get to have fun. So so I did what I could. So we started up the company. We did run it for a little bit, 2019. And my God, 2020, COVID comes. You know, we're just starting. I started making a couple of dollars, you know, here and there. And COVID hit. The whole idea was shattered.
Yeah.
But it was a good thing because everything happens for a reason. I'm not saying COVID was good, but I'm saying everything happens for a reason. Maybe God wanted us to go through that to learn something. So I think when I went back and I closed the company and everything, I had time to calibrate and like build on something else and know what I wanted to go for, moving forward with the company. So that's where I started building what I wanted and how I wanted it to be and stuff because I experienced a little bit of the business. So that's how I started the company, and that's actually the company we are working on right now.
Oh,
that's the company that is producing the film. That's the company, like I told you last time, we are opening up a studio, film studio as well. So it's the same company from 2019 that got shut down by COVID, but now we're back stronger because I have Ruth here, who's very good at what I'm not good at. That's organization and finance, I would say.
Finance and catering.
Oh, I'm
Catering too.
what do I make? I make a mean fettuccine Alfredo with chicken, and it's the kind that Yusuf will eat. He's a very picky eater, so every time I make it, I'm like, yes.
Wow. So you don't damn, man.
But that's the only thing I know how to make. Like, ask me to make anything else, I'll be like, what the? Dude, if you want a salad,
Okay.
I will hook you up.
Okay. Maybe I can fry an egg. If that counts, I can help with that.
Sure.
Still just a little bit. But okay, I like this journey. And then, so what's the vision with the company? Where are we trying to go?
So the company, I'm even surprised that she knows the vision better than I do. I would say she is better explaining of where we are going
Yeah.
and where we have to be in like 5 years from now and stuff like that, I think.
Well, how do I preface that? Trying to get the vision and the mission of FC Entertainment, which is the name of the company. You have to take Yusuf's idea. It's like I think it was in which one is that one where they have a wand and they get the idea out of their head, like they pull it out, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm in this position where I need the wand and I need it to hook up on his head and I need to pull that idea out and then operationalize it. I need to make it come to life with his help, of course, because it's his vision as well. So FC Entertainment, our vision is to be one of Vancouver's highest ranking events and media company, also in film. So when I say entertainment and events, I mean film, I mean production, I mean music, I mean events. And, there are very few Black owned and Black operated businesses like ours in the Lower Mainland. So we're coming up with this new project where Black owned, Black operated. Also half female led, like we're a dynamic duo, like we know each other, we bounce off of each other's energy and we know where we're going. And part of that mission is reaching out to our community because, I don't know if you're an artist and you go to a regular studio and you want to do Afrobeats and these people don't know how to master that music, you're kind of left in this position where you have to explain who you are, what it is, where you're coming from. And meanwhile, you have FC Entertainment here that has 3 divisions. We have the recording label, we have the events, and we have the production and the media. And we kind of understand where it is that you're going.
Yeah.
So we take a little bit of that hassle out of figuring who you are and where you want to go. And we sit down with you and we work with you in that project because we get your vision. We're a team of dynamic people. We know where you're coming from. And the fact that, Yusuf has this whole, network of people who we can tap on at any given moment to assist you in getting to wherever you need to go is almost a blessing. It is a blessing in disguise. It's very rarely that you'll come across someone who has this huge network, or you'll come across a team that's able to take your vision, whatever it is, if it's in music, if it's in events, and put it down together, and we exceed your expectations.
Yeah.
So, yeah, our vision is just to be one of the top-rated companies in Vancouver that does entertainment. And we're not just limiting ourselves to Vancouver. I mean, this is Yusuf we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with BC, and then we'll keep on going west. And after we've gone west, we'll probably conquer down south. So watch out, USA. We'll probably jump over the ocean and go to Europe. And, those are big dreams that we have. And granted, it will take time because, with such things, you need experience, you need capital, you need to demonstrate the quality of your work. And that's what people say. And we need to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Some things just don't happen because of luck or because we've prayed. Some things it just materializes because you're there. So that's a little bit about our vision and a little bit about our mission. I think I've managed to take my wand and pull it off your head. Have I? Did I miss anything?
I say that's right. Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can always contradict me. We're kind of like
I mean, there's nothing that's left. I mean, it's pretty much that's the idea. We just want to be essentially how I say it. I want to be the Amazon of entertainment.
Okay.
We want to be the Amazon of entertainment. So we want to create media everywhere that they know us. I mean, Disney is kind of there, but they are limited to a few things, It's just film and stuff and animation, but I want to go beyond that. I want to tap into every aspect of entertainment. Yeah. So my first idea in my head was, when you come to me, I have everything you need. You don't have to go anywhere.
Okay.
So you come to me like, I have a wedding, and I reached out to this DJ. I'm like, we got you. We get you the DJ. We get you the what? We get you the location. We get you the decos. Like, you don't have to do anything. You just focus on your day and let us do the hard work.
Well, they will have to pick the color theme for the wedding, though. I mean,
That's
for the client to decide.
He was about to pick your whole wedding.
I know. It's going to be like,
Let's go sit.
I can't, I have to do based on the idea.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing she's doing. I go into their heads. I try to understand what they're feeling. Like, I go back. I go back. That's the most nice thing about our companies, because we know we do storytelling. So when we're putting on an event, we bring in those aspects of storytelling into the event.
Oh, yeah.
So we go back. We sit with the client. We go back. So we try to analyze and find a theme, and we agree with the customer as well. And then we put on a wedding that is exceptional and really, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the approach is just knowing who our clients are and what they want and what their expectations are, and meeting them at it. Just not leaving someone, wanting a little bit more. You're able to capture and exceed their expectations. And whatever it is we do is done with this special, I use this term with Yusuf a lot, je ne sais quoi. It's, there's this X factor that was put into it. Yeah, so you can get another company to do it for you, but because you're using FC Entertainment for whatever project it is, we put that much of time and dedication and support towards your event. So I like that we are going to be the next Amazon of entertainment, but also in getting there, we have to cherish some of the ideas that our clients bring, and we know that they're unique ideas. And part of our work is to just make sure that we are encapsulating whatever it is that they want and bringing it to life, whether it's, I don't know, weddings, whether it's your music, if it's something that you're passionate about doing, or whether it's a story that you're telling through film or through a documentary or, a 30-second TikTok. I don't know if we'll be TikToking, but a 30-second TikTok.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that you guys led with we are black owned. So will you be also focusing on like black entertainment, like black movies, the Tyler Perry route, or do you have a different vision?
I mean, I want to say black films only, but that's not true. That's not the world we live in right now.
Yeah.
It's a fictional world, a world with only white people or a world with only black people. That's not a real world. The world we do have today has black, Asian, white, Hispanic, all those. So that's the real world.
Yeah.
So I say for me, I want to tap into all those cultures and stuff. And being in Canada, as they say, it's one of the most multicultural countries. So I feel like this is the place I have to do this. Like I have to tap into all this. There's Indian stories because I won't say I've seen a lot of movies this year, and most movies I would say some of them look similar to certain ideas that have been there. So I feel like there's more stories out there that haven't been touched,
Yeah.
and I want to bring those stories to life. I want to have a fairy tale with black fairy tales.
Yeah.
I've never seen a movie with that. Like I want kids to see black fairy tales, like black kids, and they envision themselves in so many things. Kids see themselves as these like we have stories in Africa. I don't know.
Yeah.
I come from Uganda. There's so many stories they used to tell us as kids, and those stories are there. And just like it's just in Africa or in Uganda, those stories sounded like voodoo in a way.
Yeah.
But when you bring them here, they work. Because when I watched movies like Merlin, and there's so many movies that have magic and stuff.
Yeah.
They're so cool. They make it look cool. I'm just like, we do have that in Africa. Like we do have that, and our stories are even very interesting. So
Oh, yeah.
we just need to figure out how to make these stories work and put them on the screen for people to watch because they're cool stories.
Oh yeah.
They're cool stories. It's the same thing. This is called magic. They call it voodoo, and then they make it sound like it's dark and stuff, but it's not. It's actually it's a culture because in Africa it's a religion. I think their ancestor before religion came to Africa and stuff like that, they used to have their own religions and stuff like that. So tapping into those stories and going back and like tapping different things. I just have so many things that run in my mind, and I'm like, I want to tell all these stories, and I feel I don't have time.
Yeah.
I'm always telling her, I feel I don't have time. I'm always driving myself so fast, and I'm like, you should calm down, take it slow. And stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I just want to make a difference in the Black community, and I just want Black people to know that we can make it anyway. We have no limits.
Yeah.
We just put the limits in our heads, but there's no limits to how creative we can be, and how big we can go. So that's the idea I believe in as a Black person, and mostly I'm focusing on the youth as well because I'm a youth as well. So I'm like, you don't need to be dictated by society that you have to go to high school, graduate, take a year off, and then work at McDonald's, and then like that's the society, that's the road they pave for you. But you can take your own road. Like you can do whatever you want. You can own a house at 20. You can own a house at 30. You can do anything at any certain time. There's no society shouldn't dictate our roads. Like we should be creative. We should explore our minds and do extraordinary things. Like that's the kind of vibration I'm working on. Like
Oh, okay. That sounds like big plans. Watch out, Jeff Bezos.
No, Tyler Perry also.
Tyler Perry. Taylor Perry, watch out.
Yeah,
I told you.
And Oprah. The whole shebang.
Taylor Perry, I'm still waiting for you to invest in the podcast, but that's a whole deal. You see, I'll hold back your competition.
For a second.
For you guys, what's your take on where like film is with telling African stories and like Black people stories right now? Do you feel like they're doing a good job, or do you feel there's still room for improvement there? Because
there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room. I mean, right now I'm just film right now was Black people being films was like we got our goal from what happened to George. That's I think was the peak for us to start, like for people to realize our stories. Because after George, everything started being, Black people now have to be, Black grants now are coming out, Black this. Like someone had to die for you guys to know that we have to get this stuff.
Yeah.
Like we had to have this stuff. Like, so I feel like George is a hero. Like he changed so much in the Black community everywhere. Like, I don't know wherever he is, may his soul rest in peace, but he changed so much for us. And that was the time, and COVID came in as well. Because when COVID came in, the industry relies mostly on New York and LA and stuff. And I feel like when COVID hit, they couldn't do anything because of what so many people in the States and stuff. So they brought the industry here in Vancouver. And I feel like this is the time we have to do everything because the industry came here. We have so many, about 50 production shoot here like every year. And I'm like, this is gonna be the Hollywood of like
Film.
Like this is and Vancouver is very organized. I love Vancouver as a place because it's very organized, very calm. It's a city, but doesn't give you that city vibe. Kind of, it keeps its reputation. Yeah.
Okay. I like
Well, let me jump in there. I think when you look at big producers or outlets like Netflix, very rarely, I think it's only recently when I think they decided to have a Black content creators committee or whatever it's called. I was reading about it somewhere. And then they started introducing all these Nollywood pieces on Netflix. And then you had the first Black Panther, and then all of a sudden, also George Floyd, folks in Hollywood were like, man, there is a population here that we haven't tapped on. So what other content can we look at bringing out? And that's when you had maybe Netflix, Disney starting to put out content that is more for a Black audience, especially in the US, but also one that resonates with people of color elsewhere and around the globe. Black Panther is, I think, what put maybe African content on, mainstream.
Yeah.
And of course, if we're from the continent, we're from Africa, there were times when it was all about Nollywood. And then you had pieces like, I think it was Queen Sono, which is from South Africa and really well done, and all these other pieces that are coming there. And you see Netflix or other producers putting in money just to have good content like that. But those are big pieces.
Yeah.
And sometimes we forget about the producers or the actors or the storytellers who don't have that kind of budget to put something big like that. And yet they're producing content that is so wonderful, so invigorating to your mind, and they don't have the support for that. I think if we focused also on that group of producers or that group of content creators, you have a lot more lush and vibrant content that comes from Africa or from the continent or by African and Black producers. And then we become to get more mainstream. And not that I'm demeaning Tyler Perry, but there's a certain trajectory that some pieces have where it's, a subgenre of the angry Black woman or the guy who cheats or the drug dealing and the whatever. And some of the stories are interesting and captivating, correct? But there are others where the content like Yusuf is talking about, those stories which, prior to did not receive this huge audience or this global audience that is able to share and know the history of people of color or people of African descent. And so it's that I think Yusuf is trying to give an opportunity to.
Yeah.
We might not have Netflix dollars. We might not have Tyler Perry dollars. But if we do, well and good. But those are the stories that you want to get out where you're showcasing the culture of people of African descent. You're showcasing the culture of Black people. You're also bringing in young talent. I mean, talent that previously didn't get any screen time in front of a camera.
Yeah.
You're building this new content with new people, and they have these fresh ideas, and they're just wonderful actors. And when you see them bring that energy, you yourself as an audience just get captivated and moderated. I don't know if you've taken a look at a film and like, man, I like the way that actress did it. Like her whole vibe is just wonderful, excellent. And that's, I think, what Yusuf is trying to tap into. Like this whole upcoming generation, we have probably the older folks. I don't want to put an age number on whatever older seems like, but you have the youth coming up, and they also need opportunities to showcase whatever talents they have, and this is one way that they can do it.
All right. I like that. All right. And then for you guys as a business, I guess my main question as well would be, there's a thing that I saw when I watched Black Panther 2, whereby I thought they took away stories from the continent, but they sort of moved away because they had to cater to like the African American audience, and that sort of how do I say it? Like dilutes the story, so it stops being like a motherland story. For you guys, how being in Canada, and I think eventually you also have to cater to your audience that's watching. How do you balance telling the African story, but also catering to your audience, like, you know, like let's say African Americans that want to watch those drug dealers? Because I don't think in Africa we really have a big industry of drug dealing.
We do.
Yeah, we do, but it's not, you know, it's different from the stories you grow up being told about, like this grandmother bewitched that person. Like that's a bigger story.
No, we actually do have stories of drug dealing. It's just that we're not in the media. Like if we did put our stuff out like the way the Americans do, man, there's a lot of stuff that is going on in Africa, man.
Yeah,
It's the same stuff. Only that we don't have so many guns. We use machete.
yeah.
So, but we do have such stuff. There's a lot of stuff in Africa, man. Just trust me. There's a lot of stuff. It's just that it's America, and America is where the industry is, and it's big there. So if you want to make it, you have to start there. So you kind of, because when you look at the dollars that are made in films and box office, most of it is made from the States.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure those people like what you do. So they just have to figure out how to make the story and keep it true, but just make sure you make these people understand it. At the same time, I'm like, do we really have to do that? Because I always use, what's the name of the movie? The series, Squid Games. They didn't change nothing to fit the American industry. It was just pure, was it Korean?
Yeah.
It was pure Korean. Like there was nothing American in that film. Even the language they used was Korean. So, and how much money did it make? Blew off Netflix, like one of the greatest movies right now on Netflix. Like they made the most money for Netflix.
Yeah.
But they didn't change nothing. That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm like, do we have to actually change our stories, or do we have to do them the way they are so that they're authentic, and that's how people are gonna love them? Because it's storytelling. It's not about money. It's about the stories we tell. How authentic are they? Because if you put loops into the story, it's no longer a true story. This is not a true story now, you know? So I feel like we should keep them true. I feel like I still have that idea of keeping it true and putting it out there. As long as what you're doing is for the good, just put it out there. I know the people like it because it's good content will always be good content. Like Squid Games, who knew it blew up like that?
Yeah.
It's pure Korean. Like people were talking about this show. Like everyone, I'm like, what's Squid Games? And watching it's not even English.
Yeah.
They just had to make an English version of it to make it look, to make other people watch it, like the American audience watch it, which is the biggest audience. And I'm like, we just have to make content and be true to our content, because that's what the Koreans are doing. They're being true to their content. They are not changing anything. Same thing with the music. The BTS.
Yeah, BTS.
Yeah, they didn't change nothing about them. They just put in English words, but it's all Korean. And the people love them. Like, do we need to change? That's why Afrobeat is now coming up. Like the Nigerians are not changing their language. They just keep it Afrobeat. And now I'm on Virgin Radio. It's a Vancouver radio. And they're playing Calm Down all the time. I'm like, okay. So you
tell
like
them
our,
to calm down.
Yeah. Okay.
you like our music. They play this song. I'm like, they're doing challenges. Like, you guys didn't know this music was good.
Yeah.
But before it had to be English for them to listen to it. But now you see everyone singing the song, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like we should just keep our stories. Don't change anything. Just be authentic with our stories. And people love them because at the end of the day, it's a few people that dictate the industry. But again, our main bosses are the people. Those are the people who are going to go pay in the theaters to watch those movies. So just be true to your stories. That's what I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, because I apologize, Ryan Coogler. I really destroyed Black Panther 2, and I had to put it out on YouTube. Like, this was disappointing. But I was told you should not criticize a creator because, you know, he's a creator, so he's probably sensitive about his picture.
And I mean, for Ryan, I would say if he owned the studio, if he owned the production, if he had his money to do Black Panther, I think it would have been different. But because Ryan Coogler doesn't own money to do those films, he's a director. So he kind of does his work. But again, I'm not sure about this, but I think the producers have a way they dictate how this content should be put out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I have a scenario that I'm not going to talk about of a production company that the movie took 2 years to come out, but because the writers wanted it to be a certain way, and the people who put in the money wanted it to be a certain way. But I'm like, it's his story. Let him do his thing.
Yeah.
But again, it's not his money. So it's the
But
money.
those are some of the conflicts, or quagmires you as a creative director are going to have to face, or we as a production company will have to face when I'm out there trying to get the money to put your film, and they look at the script and they say, oh, this doesn't resonate with the kind of audience we want to reach. Then the question will be up to you. Can I do this without any of your financing or any of your backing? Am I able to produce this show the way I want it to go? So in the end, I think it's it's going to be the creator's Pandora's box. Like, I need the money to do this, but this money comes with conditions.
Yeah.
Am I going to suit or fulfill those conditions to put this out, or can I do this without even that funding? So
I think we should because nowadays putting up a film is very easy. I've seen a film that has been made and made so much money, but it's been made under $1 million and made so much money. So I don't think you need billions to do a movie. A content creator, you just need your camera. As long as you create authentic work, that's all you need. The people watch. We're not watching the picture. I mean, the picture has to be good. But I mean, right now, owning a picture that produces 4K, a camera that produces 4K, is not that expensive.
Yeah.
Like the Alpha Mini, the Blackmagic, it's a cheap camera you can get, and you can produce. I've seen movies that have been produced with Alpha Mini, and they're spectacular, very nice movies. And so at this point, I feel like wanting to get so much money so that you produce good content. Oh man, that time would be a long time for you to make that movie. You'll have to keep that script.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe you shoot it on the moon.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you just have to start doing it right now. Because if you're waiting, there's no time, man. There's when are you gonna make this film? Like, who's gonna give you the money? What if you don't get the money?
Yeah.
Just use what you have, and just do the film, and people like it. I know people like it as long as it's a good idea. People will always like things that are authentic and things that are good. That's why people are becoming famous. Like this guy, what's his name? Who does?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Kabila.
Yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know that he was gonna be famous.
Yeah.
But the people like him. So it's the people. So it's the audience that you're putting the movies to. It's not Netflix. Netflix is just a platform that puts your movies out there, but it's the people that are gonna watch the movie. You know, because even if you put it on Netflix with a big budget, people don't watch it. That's a stupid movie, you know.
Yeah, that's a waste.
Because I've seen movies that I don't want to mention any directors or what, but I've seen movies, but I'm like, how did you guys get the money?
Yeah.
How did you guys get the money?
I must have had friends in high places.
And I'm like, this movie. I was talking about it with one of my writers who was writing one of the feature we're gonna be doing, and it was like, we're talking about this movie on Netflix. Actually, don't mention anyone because I may work with the director. Who knows? So the movie was. I'm like, no. How did you get the money, man? Like, I have better stories. Oh, maybe your story is good. I mean, I'm not criticizing this story. Like, I think for the Western world, they've done a lot of stories. I think there's nothing to tell anymore.
They've run out.
They've run out of stories because it's just an example. Jurassic Park is a great movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but to me, that's my opinion. It feels like the same film, just a different set and it's the same movie. So I feel like there's nothing new to it. There's a few things that they add in and stuff, but I mean, Jurassic World is pretty much the same to me. But it's a great movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. The first Jurassic Park was great. The second Jurassic World, and right now the ones they're making, I think maybe they're just advancing the technology of the dinosaurs and stuff from before.
Yeah.
But it's the same story to me. It's the same story. They just switch up a few things and add in that and that. But I feel we have stories back down there. There's so many stories from India, from China, from Taiwan. There's so many countries that I don't even know their names.
Yeah.
There's countries that I got to know recently that's a country.
Yeah.
The story is there.
All right.
So we need to tap into all those. I just feel like we need to go out there and look for content.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of seeing the same stuff and
Same stuff. All right, pivoting. You mentioned the project that you guys are working on. Care to tell us what's it about? I might have heard about it, but the people don't know.
Um, like you did work on that film. We did the film, The Invisible Walls.
Yeah.
It's in production. We it's with the editors, and they're doing their work. Great editors. Um, yeah, but it's gonna be out, I think, in August of this year, if I'm not mistaken. We're gonna be screening it in August, and yeah, we have a few stuff. We have another more shoot days because it's in post production, but we also have pre-production going on. We have some of the stuff we have to shoot, but it's gonna be coming out. But then we also have a feature that we're working on that's gonna be shot probably this summer or slightly after the summer, maybe September. I don't know how the timing will work by then, but it's a feature, and this is all new content. It's all new content. You guys should really watch out for our films.
Yeah.
Because they're really good stories. They're good stories, and we're just diving into reality.
Yeah.
We're not. I don't want to. I don't want to. I like fiction.
Yeah.
I like telling sci-fi's and stuff like that. But then I first want to start telling stories that affect us. I want to solve problems because this is why do people watch movies?
Yeah.
It's to learn and solve problems. Like why did Mark make the Facebook to help people communicate?
Yeah.
Is solving a problem. Why did Jeff Bezos make Amazon to help people transport stuff? So we are solving problems. So I look at the problem, and that's why we base our script on. Like we tell stories based on the events that are happening right now, based on the world that we live in or the world that we lived in before.
Yeah.
Like authentic stories. We're trying to solve a problem. So if I see we don't have glasses, I make a movie about glasses.
Okay.
How to make glasses, just an example,
Yeah.
So I feel like those are the stories I love to tell, stories that solve a problem, stories that have a lesson that they teach to everyone, not just the Black community, but everyone as a whole.
Okay. So for a project like that, how does it start, and how do we get to pre-production? What's the journey like? Who comes up with the script? Is there a team? Is how I'm a little kid in Africa. Help me.
It's an easy process to start with, because when I say it's hard, I'm
No one will want to do
discouraging
it.
creators, but I want more creators to come up, more youth, more Black creators. Actually, the process is not as hard as it looks like. When you see that movie on screen, you're like, damn, how did I do that? You know?
Or why didn't I think of that?
Oh, why did that? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually not hard. You just have to put your mind at it. You just have to make your just bring up the idea and say you're gonna do it. There's no tomorrow. It's if you want to do it, just do it today. If you keep postponing it, I'll do it. You won't do it.
Yeah.
Just use whatever you have and do it. But the process is not easy as well. You just have to be organized. I would say organization is key. That's why Ruth comes in most of the times. I do most of the creative work, and she does most of the admin work and like finances and stuff. That stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea about how money works.
Okay.
So, but I know how to create.
Yeah.
So, but it's a very hard process. So it starts from the idea. Obviously, that's the most core thing, the plot of the film. What idea do I want to tell, and what's the lesson we're gonna learn from this idea, and why should people watch your movie? Why should I care?
Yeah.
So you start breaking down, why would I watch this movie? I first start with myself. Would I watch this movie? If I would, then I'm gonna do it. That's me. I first give myself a tick, and then if I approve, then I start looking for other people to approve. So then I go to Ruth. I'm like, this is the idea I have, and then I go to the other people. This is the idea I have. Like, and if they're like, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. And then I want them to challenge me. I've always told her, challenge me where you feel like there's a loop or there's something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be as authentic as it can be.
Alright.
I mean, there's gonna be mistakes here and there,
Yeah.
but I mean, the idea has to be solid. So once you get the idea down and you have it, that's where you bring in the writers now. You bring in the writers and you break the idea down. So I first get my head writer. We get the head writer. Right now we're working with Kay. She's our head writer for the company, and we are getting more people. We have a PD also coming in. We have Jide. You have met Jide?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jide is also a director. So we have more people that we're working with, and it's no, I'm not gonna say that. Like it's black. It's black team. We do have but we do have other people that are not black. We're not saying we're black. We're only having a company for black people. We're mixed, but I mean,
The
we just
team
want
is
to.
very diverse. I mean, it's like as I said, Yusuf has a knack of picking up people, and he knows their strengths, and so he'll with this project, it's bringing in folks who he knows what their products look like and the type of work they produce, and also how they're able to again take that wand and get the idea onto paper.
Yeah.
So like Kay Sigagarson is really, really good at writing. She is an amazing script writer. And she's someone that, we're always happy to have on our team with.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate enough to witness this. So he gets the idea, he will say it out loud, he'll say, this is what I'm thinking about. And Kay and all the other writers now have to put it down on paper. When he says it's easy, I think it's easy, but when it comes down to the project itself, you have to look at the why are you doing it? When are you doing it? For who are you doing it? Why, how, when, what? And once you address those questions, you have something that is solid and it's built on this idea. And you have all these script writers who can get that idea down on paper, and then the rest just toggles along. It's almost like a domino effect where you have to get it started so that idea pushes the dominoes to completion. Yeah.
But the idea is the most important thing. It's the plot. Because if your film is boring, no one's gonna watch it. I don't criticize creators because my teacher told me in film school, when you take on a role as an actor, you don't have to judge the person you're acting as. So if I'm acting as Adolf Hitler, I have to love what I'm doing. I have to love killing these people. I have to love, because for him, he thought he was helping humanity. Same thing with Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos had a goal. He thought his planet was whatever happened to it, and then he thought to solve that problem is to reduce the population so that other people that stay there can thrive. That's why after he killed everyone, he just went and started growing potatoes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So don't criticize someone because they have an idea, and in their head, they have something that you just can't understand. That's why people that do great things, they look stupid in the beginning. Like, you're talking about making a light. That's impossible. You can't make a bulb. It's like, I'm going to do it. And then we have bulbs and other lights. Like, okay. So every creator has an idea, and I feel like they have a story that they want to tell. It's just sometimes they struggle maybe telling it in a better way or maybe with budget and stuff. But I think every creator has a good story. It's just the way they put it on the screen. That's where the problem comes along. But they have good stories. I would say every creator has a great story. Just the way they put it on the screen, that's where the mess up can come. But everyone has good stories because you can't just wake up and like, I want to do this. I have this story. Because when you have that idea, you believe in it. If you want to put it on screen, you believe in it. You have so much that you thought about and then put it to the screen. Unless you didn't think about it, then that's a different thing. But if you did, that's a good story. I don't care.
Yeah.
We just don't understand how you put it on the screen.
Yeah.
That's all we need to know. So some movies need to be explained by the actual person who made them. And you're like,
Oh.
That's what you meant right there.
And you're like, oh, that's a good idea, actually,
Yeah, but that's $1 billion gone, right? That's 400 million and blue people on screen and money gone, and we're like, okay.
We're not mentioning names.
Oh no, okay. I'm sorry, James. Do invest in the podcast anyway. All right. There's one thing that
James is a great storyteller, though. I like that he puts time into his stuff. People have different opinions. For me, one thing I like about him, he puts time. He wants to bring authenticity to the film. That's why it takes time. That's why it took those years to go under the water to see what happened to Titanic.
Yeah.
It's not just coming up with a story. It's like, I want to do this story. You don't even go under the water. You're like, I think this side happened.
Yeah.
Let's do the thing. Like, you just base the film on your thoughts.
Yeah.
You have to do research. That's why for my film, I do have sensitive directors. People that are like the people that I'm going to cast. If I'm going to cast like a black person, I need to bring sensitive directors that are black from that community. What do you think? This is what we're planning to do. Like my feature film, I don't think it's a spoiler. The one that's coming, the main actor is going to be a Filipino. So we're getting sensitive directors.
Training,
sensitivity directors to come on that live in that community, because I'm not Filipino. I don't know how it feels like.
Yeah.
But I do have the idea. Filipinos are more like us, we don't differentiate so much. So So I bring in the sensitive director, even with knowing this person or these people, to just make sure that I get the story right. So that research that you do, that's one thing I like about James.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like James. I'm not gonna debate. I put my thoughts out there. Avatar 3 is too long. You know, we could have done without that 1 hour of just showing us your technology. We get it. This is what happens when you have 13 years. It's like we have a 1 hour we could do without. Okay, that's just my opinion. Don't cancel me, but that's what I think. But the one thing that I've picked up from listening to you guys is you are the creative, you are the process. Because he's busy describing you have to have the idea, and your comment was just, okay, we need to know what, why, how, which is more business. My question for you is, if I'm a creative, how do I find you, the operations? If I'm operations, how do I find the creative? Because a lot of times it feels like people, once they find a team, they want to also overreach and like, if I'm creative now, I want to do this because I want, like, yeah, I know about money. But he's literally saying, I don't know anything about finances. And
I think you should be asking Yusuf that question. Like,
I think
why did he pick me when there's a whole bunch of other people who could do the role that he wants done?
I think you guys said it. I just know how to pick people.
but how?
Like when I called you, it was like, I'm doing a film. You're like, I don't think you were expecting how it was. Like when I told you I'm doing a film, I don't know what came into your mind. Like, did you think it was gonna be that size of a film, or did you think it's gonna be a small thing?
No. For me, I think in that period of time, what I was doing, because I had met like a director who was like, "Oh, if you want to make film, just go do it. Don't talk about it." So when you called me, it was like a week after that conversation. So I was like, "Oh, I don't know what you're doing. If you have a phone and your friends, I'll pop in. I'll come in and do it." Like, and then I show up. I'm like, whoa, okay. I don't know if I like. What have I stepped into here? Like, okay, let's take it back a little bit. But
yeah, that's how most people feel, because most of the people I got them in last minute, and they thought, oh, it's just a black magic pocket and then stuff like that, and then it's like, oh, it's actually production. There's like so many people, It's like I was also excited about the experience,
Yeah.
But I mean, picking people, I do see people's. I don't know, but I do see people's strengths. That's the word I'm looking for. Like when I talk to you, I'm just looking at how you can help me and how I can help you. That's why when you talk to me, I was like, what do you do? I'm always wanting to know what you're doing. I'm always wanting to know how I can fit in the stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I know I can't do everything alone.
Yeah.
I need people, Yeah. I need people to build this. You can't do everything alone. There's no one who's on an island. So I need these people. So I'm like, I'm good at this. So I need someone who's good at finances. I need someone who's good at this. I need someone who's good at this. And then we all come together and we make it happen. I think I have the talent to just see people and like, because I have so many people that I met first time, and we're all like, all the people that I work with, we met first time.
Yeah.
Kay, I met her. I knew her in school 2019, and then 2 years later, I'm calling her to come and be the script supervisor for this film. I always don't forget when I meet someone. Same thing with Jide. We met and we didn't even talk so much. And I'm calling him. I was like, what do you do? He tells me, okay. And I call him, I said, Jide, there's this project coming up. And now I think that's how we all have to like support each other, like as Black people or as creators and stuff, and bring people together. And like the people that you met on set right now, if you're doing your film, you know so many people now that do certain stuff.
Yeah.
Because from this film now, you're gonna call me, hey, Yusuf, last time you showed the film and this person, do you have their number? Yeah, sure I do. And it's gonna be easy for you now.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the role. It's not. Sometimes I feel some people are so like to themselves.
Yeah.
And it's just me. Is like, you do this, oh, okay. Even me, I do it. It's like, okay, how are we gonna help each other?
Yeah.
We all do it, but how can we work together? Because Jide is a director, I'm a director. We work together and we directed the film together. I could have had my ego and it's like, I'm the director, but I actually let him direct the film, and I just concentrated on the picture. That's what I did. So I'm like, we help each other that way. Like, he's a director, and I feel like this is an opportunity for him to jump into the game right now, So now the film is actually not the best, but people are talking about it. I saw people tagging us and stuff,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is great. Now people are getting to know ourselves. So now everyone who was on this project is grateful. It's like, oh, Yusuf called me. I didn't expect to do this, but look what's happening,
Yeah. That's amazing.
I think that your question is interesting I'm looking at it now from the business or business person end or a non-creative end. I think it's easy for Yusuf to get those connections because he's also in the creative space, right?
Yeah.
He knows his people, he knows their strengths, he knows where they can fit in a certain project. When you jump in on the business side, and I think for me, it's more or less, when we're talking about the person who said, oh, I'm going to build a light bulb or I'm going to invent a plane, it's going to fly and defy gravity. And he's looking for money. The people who are giving him the money or he's going to look for must have this, oh, this guy ain't cuckoo. Perception or whatever he's talking about or whatever plan and idea he has is something which they can see themselves helping out with, financing. And also it brings a certain reality because it depends on who is coming to you for that support. As much as Yusuf is seeing the talent that he wants for his idea, I also have to make sure I'm seeing the creativity and what this creativity can produce.
Yeah.
Because most of the time investors want to see an ROI. I'm giving you $5. I need to know what my ROI is. Are you going to give me $4.50 or are you going to give me $0 or will you give me $10, which is a $6 return on my ban? So on the business end, that's what I usually tell Yusuf. If I'm going out to look for an investor, I think I want to give them an ROI of at least 10%. And this is how you get people investing with you. But it's also the idea that we had worked on a project together and both of us were not involved in the nitty-gritty of that project until we came together and until we knew where each of our strengths were, is when I said, I can work with you. I think I know how your creative process is, and I think I know what you look for when you're trying to build an idea or the movie or whatever it is. And it's not objectionably, out there pie in the sky.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you want someone who's also grounded. I'm not just going to come and work with you and I'm like, man, that idea sucks. But you know what? No.
Yeah.
It's just the way the idea is framed when he brings it to you and how he presents it to you. And also you want to see a track record. I think we started working together because somebody did recommend him. If he just appeared out of the blue, I think I would have been like, I don't know you. I don't know your work. So sayonara. But, there was that history that he had before. I think there was, that shared network that we had, and that's how we got working together. And we work really well as a team. Sometimes from the business end, I'll be like, yo, you can't just throw this on me. This is an added expense and it's 10% of my budget. Where do you think I'm going to get the dosh from? Yeah. You do have those arguments when it does come to production, but it is my job to find that money and make sure that the idea he has is implemented. And so we're able to fulfill whatever needs and values that he needs to get out.
All right. Yeah. And for you, I have a question because you worked at UBC. You have this this guy starting from the ground up. How was it making that decision for you to be like, okay, I'll give you my time, and I'm pretty sure with UBC, like I'm set, I'm good. And what makes you go like, I'll take on the additional stress for this guy? Like, how do you make that decision for yourself?
There's always two sides to that. It's A, what he brings to the table, B, what I bring to the table, and how each of us benefits from it. There has to be a symbiotic relationship between the things that we do and how we do them. Yes, I do have a wonderful job, which I love. It involves events, which is also what the company is about. So yes, I will take that on because I know it's something I'm comfortable doing. And I can do it probably with my eyes closed. Only I work in academia and in huge meetings and congresses. Whereas, you want to take on wedding events, which I just shy from because, they're the biggest days of your life. Yeah. But it's a matter of seeing the vision and the way the vision is presented. It's someone who has an idea, and it's the idea itself can be put to work. You can actually operationalize it, and you can see something out of it. But you're also assessing the risk. If I'm putting this much time, what do I expect is going to happen, or what is the outcome that I see? And if in your own mind, or I love Excel sheets. My brother taught me to say that Excel sheets are my aphrodisiac. So you put it down on the Excel sheet and you put in those formulas and you see in 3 years is going to yield X amount of dollars. And that X amount of dollars can be put back in the business to do whatever it is your next project is. And then you're looking at the team that Yusuf is working with. So you also know that as much as you're putting 110 hours a week, at some point, those hours will reduce and you will see the fruits of your labor. So it's a matter of just calculating who it is you're working with. And as Yusuf said, if you're in a job that you love, it ceases to be a job.
Yeah.
It's just something that you do. And that kind of takes that risk away and that pain away. But also you have to, it depends on where you're going. So I don't necessarily see a future at or see all of my years being spent at this one huge institution in Vancouver. There are also opportunities for you to put your work out there or the kind of thing you do out there. I mean, what is life if you stick to one thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's also an opportunity for me to just move beyond whatever it is I've done in business or whatever it is I've done in entrepreneurship and enter a field which I know jack about. And then get what I always call baptized by fire.
Yeah.
When Yusuf tells you it's 3 a.m., you have to drop these people and this is what has to be done.
Yeah.
And then you look at your Excel sheet and you're like, okay, I can do it. These are the parameters. Okay.
Yeah.
And just seeing that, having faith in yourself to be comfortable in the unknown. And I think that's probably why I've invested a lot of time with Yusuf and, socially, emotionally, financially, just to get this project going.
Yeah.
Because I know, it's great that he's put his ideas into inception and it's going to be big, but it will be bigger than the both of us or bigger than him eventually. And it also serves our community. I mean, how many times have you gone out there and have you seen this young visionary and he's like, I want to do this and I want to do this in 10 years and this is what I'm setting myself up to and I want you to join my team. And, there's this energy that Yusuf brings and you're like, yeah, I want to be part of that and I want to see how far we can go with it. And you know what? I might not be with you for those 10 years, but, in the first 2 years or so, I'm just going to hit you up. I'm going to set you up and I'm going to get you going. And I always say, he's the one building the plane.
Yeah.
But the rest of us come in as the nitrogen fuel. We're the one who are going to throw it stratospherically out of the earth.
Yeah, I like that. And then before I cut you off, were you going to say something?
I forgot.
But for you, I would like to say massive respect because, I work in the creative industry and I see a lot of creative people, they need that business side, finding that partner, but it's almost difficult because a lot of times when you're saying anything creative, you sound crazy. Because a lot of time when I talk to people who are not on the creative side of things, they just go, I need to see how I'm making money today. You need to be realistic. Show me the plan. And a lot of times when you're creative, you're like, I have an idea. I have no idea what we're doing.
Okay, go ahead.
One thing I'm going to say, it also depends on who has the idea. Because for me, I feel like I also have good negotiation skills. I know how to talk to people sometimes, So I feel like how you bring this idea to this person, how you show it, how you break it down, you have to bring in some few things to make it work. Don't just come, I want to build a plane, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So when you come, you just have to know your shit, just know your stuff. When I come, I want to start a podcast. I need to know everything. I know I need this microphone. I need this, and I know who I'm going to sell it to. If you know your stuff as a creator and you know what kind of movies you want to do, you did some research, it becomes easy for the other person to make a decision because you're basing your stuff on facts, on stuff that you've done before or stuff that you've researched or stuff that you know will work. So I think the convincing part also applies to how you talk to people.
Yeah.
And I think communication is a big thing because for me, I was I always call myself a good communicator, not the communication that I'm talking about, communication, but I know how to make people understand me. Like all the jobs I've gone for, I don't have most of them, the normal jobs, I didn't have the qualifications for them sometimes, but when they give me the interview, I make them believe that I'm the best person that can do this job.
Yeah.
It's just that ability that I have to break down everything for you and make you see, and then you forget what you can actually ask me. And I've always, and you're like, okay, I think I like you. So I just make you like me, and then that's the most important thing. Because right now I did a part-time job as a flight attendant, and being a flight attendant is a dream for so many people. And I didn't have experience for it. Like I didn't have experience to do that.
Yeah.
But when they gave me the interview and I sat down with them, they really saw me as one of the best, and I was like, okay, cool. It's like, I mean, I knew someone from the industry though, but I mean, I didn't do with that person the interview. The
Yeah.
person I did with the interview is different. So it kind of was like, that also applies how you talk to people. And it's like, even the industry, like the film industry, some people will hire you because you're a great person, even if you're the greatest actor, but you have bad character. No one wants to work with you.
Yeah.
So you have to have that charisma. You have to have that. You have to be nice. You just have to know how to talk to people. Just be nice. Just be that person they want to be around. So I want to be around this person. You know, you may just be funny. Like for me, there's some even music. There's some music that I don't like the music, but I like the artist because of their story. Like maybe their story is like this, and I like them for that. That's why I listen to their music then, but I don't like the music. But I just listen to it because I like the person.
Oh.
So it's it also comes in factor with everything. Yeah.
That's fact. All right. So this part of the podcast, I have questions that I was given by my nephew who's 7 years old.
Awesome.
So he said my interview skills, these words were they suck. So he's gonna help me out with better questions.
Can he actually be the one asking? Because I want to hear the
Oh, you
questions
wanna-
with a 7-year-old voice.
I have to talk to his mom. Mine. I know it's a lot of signatures,
Paperwork.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll do it. Hopefully one day we'll watch it again. But I lost an audience member there. So his first question is: for what in your life do you feel the most grateful?
Me first.
Anyone?
We're all looking at you.
What's the question again?
For what in your life do you feel the most grateful?
Being alive.
Alive.
That's the most thing. 'Cause that's everything. If you're not alive, then there's nothing that can happen in anything. So
Yeah.
I feel grateful for the gift of life that I have.
Okay.
So many people died before they given birth to, and some died even before they saw the world. So I'm grateful that I was able to come out and I'm here. Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting. Life is always a gift, but the person who gave you life is the greatest gift.
Yeah.
And for me, that's my mother. If there's one thing I can attribute her for, I keep on saying the good things that happen, even the bad things that happen to me in life, God has blessed me. And I think it's because I'm riding on the coattails of my mother's grace.
Yeah.
As a mom, I think she was just the most important thing to me. And I just grew up seeing her and knowing what a strong woman is supposed to do. Strong in faith, strong in work, strong in determining who she is, a feminist by her own right. She was respected by so many people, and she taught me all of that. And I'm just so grateful that today, yes, I'm alive, and she gave me that life, and I'm also alive by God's grace.
Yeah.
But everything I know, it's mom. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Reminds me of my mom. She used to say I could have swallowed you when you were a kid. I was like, okay, I don't know how you would have done that, but thank you for you didn't swallow me. All right. The second question is: if you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? You can go first. It's just looking.
It's an interesting one.
I would change nothing. Everything happens for a reason. And God has put the people he has put in your life for a reason. And he put them there at a time that they were supposed to be there. And that time was planned by, if you're spiritual or religious, by God.
Yeah.
I don't think I would change anything at all. Not even the food that we ate every single day, 5 days a week. I don't think I would change that. Not even we took matatus to school or to home. I wouldn't change that because that builds character and it builds who you are. And I'm so grateful that those years or whatever it is that's happening even now in my life, I'm just building on whatever happened.
Yeah, I like that.
I do agree with what you said. I would think the same thing. I would not change anything, but then I wish I grew up in an environment where we had access to the stuff that I have access to right now. That's something that I wish I would, because where I am right now, at my age, if I knew this stuff or if I had access to this stuff, so here I'm not blaming my mom, I'm not blaming my dad, I'm just blaming my country where I was born, that they do not do a lot for people like us, the arts people in Uganda. Arts is downlooked. They don't think you can do anything with arts. You're either doctor, lawyer, that's all they know. So I wish I grew up in an environment where we had access to these and things that I'm doing right now were possible from that age, you know? But again, like she said, everything happens for a reason. But if there was one thing I would change, I would love to grow up in an environment where most of the things that I know now were possible. Like I could dream, like in Uganda, I didn't have the dream of being an actor because it was impossible there.
Yeah.
But if I grew up in an environment where that dream, I could see myself being an actor, I could see myself being a director, I think I would have been more ready now. But again, everything happens for a reason. So God knows why I grew up there and why it took that time and why I'm here right now. So, but that's what I would change.
Okay. Nice. I like these answers, man. What is the greatest accomplishment of your life right now or to date?
Yeah, those are soul-searching questions.
He's 7.
The greatest accomplishment. I mean, I do have a few that I'm happy and I'm grateful for. But right now, when you ask me,
Yeah, like for the I don't know you.
no, right now when you ask
Just
me,
time parameters. Maybe make the next question within the last X
Within
number
the last,
of
like
weeks.
it's more of like in your whole life until now, So anything that you just like, I feel like I accomplished this. It was a good feeling.
I think coming to Canada for me would be because everything that I'm doing right now, everything is possible for me because I'm here. I think I would say that's one of the big things is being able to get from Uganda to here. That's my biggest, I think. Because I mean, however much I love my country so much and I want to improve it, those things would have taken me centuries to just produce a film that I just did last month. You know? So I think I'm grateful, and my biggest accomplishment is making it here. That's one of the big things here, making it here. I don't want to say they say it's a land of opportunity, but we have the land of opportunity. We do grow so many stuff that they can't grow here. It's just that at the particular time where we are in life, we can't do those things. We don't have access to certain technology and stuff to do stuff. So I feel like coming here and being able to learn, and I'm planning to take some of these things that I'm getting here back and just give those people that are there that didn't get the chance that I got to come here to start, like to give them the opportunity now to start, to show them that you can be an actor even in Uganda. You don't have to come to the States. You can be like, that's what I think I'm grateful for. And my biggest accomplishment is coming here.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I'm very much a family person. I'm an only daughter, so my greatest accomplishment is being my mother's child.
Nice.
There's so much lessons that I learned from her. Again, it always goes back. I call her Mother Almighty. I mean, God forgive me because He's the Almighty, but the next one is always Mother Almighty. And she's taught me so many things, and one of them is just trying not to be selfish, but at the same time not being selfless. And one of the things she embodied and taught was giving opportunities to those who don't have. And that comes in various forms. Right now, if it's working with the community, that's one way you can do it. Investing in youth is one way that you can do it, because I know that he might probably open 100 more doors and I might just open maybe 20. But if I invest in him, we reach a whole different segment of the population who will be able to say, you know what, 100 years ago in Nigeria, I couldn't make this film. But when Yusuf came, now it takes about 3 months for me to get a film off the ground, right? So I think just being my mother's daughter, doing the things she taught us to do as children, and following the instruction that she gave us, because some of those things, the Bible always says, teach your child the way he should go, so that when he's an adult, he will not depart from it.
Yeah.
And I think she's taught me so much. And to me, that's an accomplishment, because I could have been like, yo, mom, this is like antiquated or whatever. Let's move on. I'm in Canada.
Yeah.
No, it's she taught me so much, and she did so much, and she was selfless. And I just want to emulate that. I know it's hard, especially when you live in a country where it's all about capitalism and being individualistic and looking out for your own self. But she was one of those selfless people, and that's what she taught me. And as her child, that's, I think, what I want to do with the years that I've left.
I like this. I like these answers. Okay, here are the easy ones. What do you value most in a friendship? Yeah, it's a dog. He comes out sometimes.
It's a good question. I would say for me, it's the ability to know, how do I say it? I always say it, we need to agree to disagree, so that person needs to understand what that means. So we'll meet so many people and we can't be like who you want us to be. So if you're able to understand me and just let me be and just treasure me the way I am, I don't know what's the word to mean that. So if I don't speak English and you speak Punjab and we meet and we're friends, you appreciate the fact that I don't speak Punjab and I don't speak your language, but we treasure each other. You don't criticize me for that. I don't criticize you for that. So I always say we need to agree to disagree. But this is how I am, and I'm happy with it, and I don't have to change myself for you or for anyone. So if you're able to actually understand that this is me, that's the most important thing to me. Like, this is me, this is who I am, and there's weaknesses that I need to work on, but then there's stuff that's just me. It's just who I am. And if you're able to understand that person and you work well with them, there's stuff that you may not like, but if you're smart and if you treasure this person, you know how to go around them. Like, okay, I don't like this, but you're my friend, and I just know how to move on with this, like how to go around it and just make it not be a problem and stuff like that. So I think that's the most important thing to me.
Yeah, that's a tough one. For friendship, I think I'm being very biblical today. It's the ability to forgive, or what I value in a friendship is the ability to forgive 70 times 7. Because we are humans, we're not gods. We fall from grace. We disappoint each other. We fight. We say all these things we're not supposed to say. We do all these things we're not supposed to do. But when you have a friendship that you do value, and the person is someone that you value as well. And I'm not saying that people should, do the things they're doing just for the sake of, because that, oh, this friend is, my friend, and they'll understand. No, it's the ability of, not even the ability, it's having the grace to know that this person didn't come or didn't commit whatever it is that they committed out of malice. And it's not that they're putting you down. It's probably the situation that they found themselves in. And humans are different. We react differently. I'm so grateful that Yusuf has that ability to put things aside or cut around the corner that is kind of making things not to work. But you also need to have the grace where you say, my friend, I have seen you fall. This was not great, but I forgive you because I value you and I value our friendship. And that's something that's so important, because have you ever ended a friendship? It's very different than a boyfriend-girlfriend breakup. It's very different than marriage breakup. it's a totally different landscape, because this is someone that you value a lot. And even without them, let's say you are married, yeah, you could see yourself without your partner when you get the divorce, if you get the divorce or the separation or whatever it is. But your friends bring something intrinsic, and they become a part of you in such a way that you really can't explain. And so when you do lose them, it has another hole in your heart, which, 10 years from now, you'll be like, oh man, this was a really good friend. I just don't know why I didn't, go back and try to make things work. And you can do that. And sometimes friendships run their course. But when you know who you are friends with, or the kind of relationship that you have, it's something that you have to build, you have to nurture, and you have to protect. And having that grace to know that, this person, it's something that's valuable and it adds value to your life, it's worth preserving.
All right.
Are you crying?
Man, no.
Sorry, the money person made you cry. Not the creative genius.
People are getting deeper and deeper, man. Okay. What? Okay, I did what does. Okay. No, I didn't ask this one. So we did what you value most in a friendship. Then the next question is, what does friendship mean to you?
Everything. Everything. Like, friendship means everything. I personally say I get more connected to my friends than I even get connected to my family. I do tell so much to my friends than I tell my family. I'm just like that. My mom doesn't like me for that. My dad doesn't like me for that. It's like, you treasure people that are outsiders. I was like, I don't know why, but I just trust them. Like, I cannot tell my mom certain stuff. I cannot tell my brothers, but I tell my friends. If you want to break me, use my friends. You can use my family to break me. I mean, I treasure family, but I don't know, for some reason, my friends, I give them everything. Like, I give them everything, because family can sometimes get complicated. Family can criticize you, but friends very rarely criticize you if they understand you, because they don't know you. Like, this person met you from, you guys didn't grow up together, so they can't, like, if they were able to become friends with you even without knowing you, so the level of criticism is very low. So they understand you better than, like, they feel your pain. So I'd say, me, friendship means everything, like everything. I tell my friends everything, and I'm very open to my friends that I'm with my family. My mom is gonna beat me for this, but I mean, I do, because and I do go beyond my way to with friendship. Like, I do stupid stuff because of friendship, and I've messed up a lot. And my brother was like, you see, now, like, there's some friends that I've had and that have disappointed us.
Yeah.
I'm at the point whereby my friends call me brother, and they know when they say I'm your brother, I won't say, oh, it's not my brother.
Yeah.
Like, I have so many friends that would ask them, where's the other guy? We thought he's your brother, but they're not my brothers. But the way we work together, so many people I'm with, they always think they're my brothers. Well, I don't know. It's like, yeah, where's your brother? Like, which brothers? Like, I don't know now,
Yeah.
But because of how I treasure them and how I treasure friendship, how I talk about them with other people, and how, like, for me, friendship is everything. My friends, because I can do stupid things with my friends, and I'm a very light person. I like to joke so much. I like to play. I can do that with my friends. I can't do that with my family. My mom knows how to joke, but I mean, I feel more at peace with my friends.
Yeah.
I can call you stupid, and I know that's nothing, I know you won't get offended.
Yeah.
Because I just need to have the comfort zone. I can play and I can do anything, But I know at the end of the day, when you call me and you say, come with a knife, you don't need to ask, why do you need to come with a knife? That person just comes with a knife. It's like, or if you call me, it's like, Yusuf, come with a knife. I just get the knife and I come. I don't ask you why you need to come with a knife.
Yeah.
Because I know you need me to come with a knife. Yeah. I'm coming with a knife. And whatever it is, we're gonna solve it. That's friendship to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, back to family. I mean, I do have friends. Yusuf and I are friends, but for me, there are only two people who know that my deepest secrets, and they're my brothers, and they're also my friends. They're, for me, Yusuf's is different, but for me, it's those two are my family. If you want to search my Excel sheet of whatever it is, you can ask a certain brother. If you want to do whichever question, there's a brother who has the answer for it. And we're just the three of us, and it's an interesting take for us because the two of them are back home in Kenya, and then I'm here. So we always communicate, we always talk, we always chat. Tom and Andrew, those are their names. We always sit down, we joke, we have so much fun, even on the phone. You know, when you're texting, you're like, this joke was dope, or this joke, it was uncalled for, you know. They mean everything to me. And unfortunately, it took the passing of my mom for us to get that close. Because again, she was our foundation. But I also value friends that I've met here and friends who have stayed and friends far and wide. Because you need a certain network, as Yusuf is saying, where, you know what, you can just be at ease and be with, you know, just your friends and let go and not even think of, oh, I crossed a boundary with them. So friendship, it's a lot. It means everything to some people. It means, for some, it might mean nothing. And, you know, I hope that's not the case for them, or they should rethink why it means nothing, or are those really your friends if it means nothing? But I value my brothers as my friends. They're my foundation. They're the ones who keep me strong. I do have my own network here. I'm not disowning them too. They're key. Like, that's why I've been here and I've been sane. And you know what? We've gone through the ups and downs of being a new immigrant or an old one in my case in this country. But the people who keep me grounded are my friends, and those friends just happen to be my brothers.
I like that. Nah, I relate to that because me and my sister, we were best friends until she got married, and then my mom was like, "You have to stop. This has to stop. Let go." Like, wait, but she's like, she's married. Step back. I was like, okay, but
now that brings me trouble with my girlfriends. So I have friends who I'm very close to that are girls, and then I got the boyfriends. Now their boyfriends feel so insecure because me and these girls, we are like super close. That when she's with me, the dude is like, you don't do that with me, you know? You're my boyfriend. But I'm like, we have nothing. Like, there's nothing attached. We're just friends. We just know each other. I mean, like, for me, friends relationships. I wouldn't say because my friends have been there from day one, and my friends will always be there. You'll get a girlfriend, she'll come, she'll stay, and then she'll leave. My friends will always be there the entire time. For me, my friends, that's why I have one girlfriend who I'm getting in trouble with their dude. Just like, you guys are too close now. You know, it's like you just need to get used to it. The girl told you.
That's all good.
Let's take a commercial break.
Take a commercial break.
And
10-1.
10-1.
All right.